Every single person carries a dream inside them, a vision of who they could become, what they could achieve, and the life they truly desire to live. But dreams by themselves are fragile. They shine bright in your imagination, but without discipline, they fade when reality tests them. You can dream of success, but unless you build the bridge called discipline, you'll never walk across to reach it. Discipline is the quiet, consistent force that turns desire into direction. It's what transforms "I wish" into "I will." It's the difference between those who talk about change and those who live it. You see, motivation might start the engine, but discipline keeps the car moving when the road gets rough. It's easy to get excited at the beginning of a new goal. Everyone feels that rush. But what happens after the excitement fades? That's where discipline steps in. Think about it. The student who studies every night when their friends are out, the athlete who trains when no one's cheering, the entrepreneur who keeps working after a setback, they all have one thing in common: discipline. They understand that success is not built in the moments of comfort, but in the moments of choice. Every day, you're faced with two options: the easy path that gives you comfort now, or the disciplined path that gives you freedom later. The truth is, your dreams need your discipline more than your passion. Passion lights the fire, but discipline keeps it burning. It's the daily decision to show up even when it's hard, even when no one notices, even when you feel like quitting. Because discipline doesn't ask, "How do you feel?" It asks, "What needs to be done?" And the beauty of it all? Once you begin to live with discipline, your life starts to move forward with purpose. The goals that once felt impossible begin to unfold step by step, day by day. The bridge between where you are and where you want to be becomes real. And you realize that your dreams were never out of reach. You just needed the strength to walk the bridge. Discipline doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's as simple as waking up 10 minutes earlier, reading a few pages of a book, or choosing water over soda. Those tiny choices, they seem meaningless in the moment, but over time, they build the life you dream of. That's the secret. Greatness is hidden in the small things you do consistently, not in the big things you do occasionally. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because they underestimate the power of small daily habits. They believe transformation has to be dramatic, overnight, or life-altering. But true change is quiet, gradual, and invisible at first. It's built through small disciplines that compound over time. Just like interest in a bank account. You won't see the growth immediately, but one day you'll look back and realize how far those small steps have taken you. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree the next day, but you keep watering, nurturing, and protecting it. The discipline to keep showing up, even when there's no visible progress, is what leads to growth. And that's what life rewards: consistency. Every time you choose to do the right thing, to focus instead of procrastinate, to learn instead of waste time, to push forward instead of making excuses, you're investing in your future self. And every small act of discipline whispers a powerful truth: you're in control. You don't need to change your entire life today. You just need to start one step, one habit, one commitment at a time. Because the small daily actions you take will eventually become your lifestyle. And that lifestyle will determine your destiny. Every form of growth comes with a certain amount of pain, but not all pain is equal. The pain of discipline is the pain that builds you. The pain of regret is the pain that breaks you. The truth is, you're going to suffer one of the two. The question is, which one will you choose? The pain of pushing yourself to rise early, to stay consistent, to say no when it's easier to say yes. That pain is temporary, but the pain of wasted potential, of looking back and realizing you could have done more, that pain lasts forever. Discipline teaches you to transform pain into power. It teaches you that discomfort is not your enemy. It's your teacher. The moment you stop running from the hard things and start embracing them, you begin to grow stronger. Every time you resist temptation, every time you stay committed when quitting seems easier, you're building the muscles of character, focus, and resilience. Most people try to avoid pain at all costs. They choose the path of least resistance, the shortcut, the easier way out. But what they don't realize is that avoiding the pain of discipline only guarantees the pain of regret. You can't escape pain, but you can decide how it will shape you. Will it limit you, or will it lead you to greatness? When life challenges you, when things don't go as planned, when failure stings, when success feels far, that's when discipline steps in. It tells you to keep going, to trust the process, to believe that every effort, every sacrifice, every ounce of struggle is molding you into something greater. And here's the beautiful truth. Once you've walked through the fire of discipline, you become unshakable. You no longer fear challenges because you've trained yourself to rise above them. You no longer see failure as the end, but as part of the journey. Discipline turns pain into purpose and transforms obstacles into opportunities. The people who achieve greatness aren't those who escape struggle. They're the ones who use struggle as fuel. The same fire that burns others is the fire that forges them. That's what discipline does. It refines you, it strengthens you, and it teaches you that within every hardship lies the seed of strength. Every time you make an excuse, you give away your power. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to feel better about not doing what we should be doing. I don't have time. I'm too tired. I'll start next week. But let's be honest, these are not reasons. They're delays, and every delay pushes your dreams one step further away. Discipline demands that you stop negotiating with your excuses and start taking responsibility. Because the moment you take full ownership of your life, everything changes. You begin to realize that your progress, your success, your growth, they are all in your hands. No one else is coming to save you. No one else can make the decision for you. Responsibility is power. It means saying, if it's meant to be, it's up to me. It's refusing to blame circumstances, other people, or your past. Because as long as you're making excuses, you're standing still. But when you take responsibility, you move forward, even if it's one step at a time. Excuses might bring you comfort for a moment, but responsibility brings you growth for a lifetime. When you stop saying, I can't, and start asking, how can I? Your entire mindset shifts. You stop seeing problems as barriers and start seeing them as challenges to overcome. That's how strong people think. The truth is, you don't need perfect conditions to start. You just need to start where you are, with what you have, and do what you can. That's the spirit of discipline. Showing up, taking ownership, and refusing to be limited by your excuses. Every time you choose responsibility over excuses, you take a step closer to the person you were meant to be. Because discipline and responsibility go hand in hand. One strengthens the other. And when you embrace both, you unlock a level of freedom and confidence that no excuse could ever give you. Most people think discipline is a cage, a restriction that keeps them from living freely. They believe that being disciplined means living a life without joy, without fun, without spontaneity. But that's the great misunderstanding. The truth is, discipline isn't the enemy of freedom, it's the birthplace of it. Real freedom doesn't come from doing whatever you feel like doing. It comes from having control over what you choose to do. Without discipline, your life is ruled by impulses, distractions, and moods. You sleep when you're tired, quit when you're bored, and give in when things get hard. And slowly, without even realizing it, you lose control of your habits, your time, your energy, your potential. That's not freedom, that's slavery to comfort. But when you live with discipline, everything changes. You wake up each day with direction instead of confusion. You plan instead of drift. You choose your actions, your reactions, your mindset intentionally. Discipline gives you the power to say no to what doesn't serve your purpose, so you can say yes to what truly matters. That's the kind of freedom that brings peace. Think about the person who is financially free. They didn't get there by chance. They practiced discipline, saving, planning, sacrificing when others were spending. Think about the person who's healthy and strong. It's not luck, it's discipline. Eating clean, training daily, staying consistent when motivation disappeared. And think about the person who's mentally calm and emotionally strong. They didn't stumble into peace. They built it through the daily discipline of reflection, gratitude, and self-control. You see, discipline doesn't take away your joy. It gives it to you in a purer form. It allows you to enjoy life without guilt, success without chaos, progress without pressure. It gives you the confidence that comes from knowing you are in charge of your life. There's no greater freedom than that. The freedom to live by design, not by default. When you're disciplined, you don't waste your days chasing pleasure. You invest them building purpose. You don't depend on others to keep you accountable. You hold yourself to a higher standard. And over time, that self-respect grows. You begin to trust yourself because you know that when you say you'll do something, you'll do it. That's real strength. Freedom without discipline leads to chaos, but discipline creates a life where everything has meaning. Your habits, your goals, your actions. You're not being controlled by your emotions or your environment. You're in command of them. The greatest irony in life is that the people who live with the most structure experience the most peace. They don't wake up anxious or lost. They wake up knowing exactly where they're headed. Discipline gives you that power. It gives you the freedom to live life on your own terms, not in reaction to the world, but in alignment with your vision. So when you look at the people who seem truly free, calm, successful, fulfilled, remember this: they didn't get there by luck or chance. They earned their freedom through discipline. Every choice, every sacrifice, every consistent act of self-control led them there. And that same freedom, that peace, that strength, that control is waiting for anyone willing to build it. Because in the end, discipline isn't a restriction. It's the foundation of a life without limits.